So before we start this video, I want to tell you guys I am going on stand-up tour. That means I'm doing stand-up comedy in your city, baby. Woo! Let's talk about where I'm going. I am going to New York, November 9th. I am going to San Francisco, November 13th. Chicago, November 19th. Orlando, December 3rd, and Houston on December 15th. Come see me do stand-up.
Dates and ticket links in the description.
Yeah, yes. Good job. Wow, this is my first time doing this. We're all learning something today. Welcome to the Kitchen and Jorn show. As you may have guessed, we sent Jorn on a fantastical voyage to Italy.
Where she has to retrieve a piece of the true cross.
Yeah, or something, I don't know. She's behind the camera, obviously, because like, if we have 3 people on camera, the camera will explode, so. Before we get into this, you should subscribe to our channel. Many of you have subscribed to our channel lately. I love you. Those of you who haven't, I also love you, but my love is provisional, okay? Y'all asked for this video. I kind of anticipated we were gonna make this video. This video is answering the questions that you had about Brie's FFS surgery, and you had a bunch of them. Some of them were for me, some of them were for Brie.
Very few of them were for Jen, which is why she's not as much in this video.
Actually, there was one question for Jen. Someone asked, like, how's Jen handling this? And I was like, I don't think it matters. Jen, how are you handling this?
Well, I was really excited because Brie let me borrow this new video game. So when y'all were recovering, I had a lot of stuff to do. So I'm handling it really well.
Okay. So these aren't in any particular order. These are just the questions people asked that we're gonna answer. So it's been 8 weeks and you're feeling pretty good.
I'm feeling great.
As we've said before, it will take a full year for your face to settle in such a way where you have the results that you asked for.
I'm gonna have, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, we're already starting to see a lot of changes.
Yeah.
You know, like check out my profile.
I know, look at this profile. Your profile is bananas.
That is a cool profile.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna start going through these questions. So was Brie able to stay awake for any of the surgery, or was it total anesthesia with backup drugs?
Total darkness.
Total darkness.
Total darkness, because what they did was took my face off and then f***ed around with a lot of the bones and then put it back. And that is not so much something you want to be awake for.
Yeah, it was sort of, it was like a deviled egg situation.
Yeah.
Like, you know how you, oh, I want deviled eggs now. It's like a deviled egg situation where like you take the yolk and you sort of like add mayonnaise and paprika and salt and some other stuff to it, and then you put it back in the egg.
Almost nothing like that, but close.
Well, anyway, yes, it was
But
like
yeah,
that.
total darkness.
No.
I was out for 10 hours?
10 and a half hours.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. All right, next question. Are you going to have to figure out a new makeup routine, or is all the stuff that you did before the same?
Well, most of it's still the same. This is my first time putting on makeup since I've had it happen.
Hey!
Was for this video, so you're welcome. It was mostly the same. The one thing that was different is with my eyeshadow, because my eyes are a little less recessed and my brow is less prominent. I kind of have a little more real estate, and I'm not like kind of just drawing on eyelids that are going to just be completely covered up by my brow.
You know what? I noticed that because like, when you came out, I was like, wow, your eyeshadow looks like really good, but I couldn't figure out like what you'd done that was any different.
It's because I had eyes that like can have eyeshadow now.
How's recovery been? How's swelling been an issue?
Swelling was a little bit of an issue, mostly earlier. The hardest part was when I had the stitches and the staples in and I couldn't really eat anything.
Yeah.
But then after that, you know, I figured out good ways to sleep on my side just to keep from sleeping face down and hurting my nose. That's really been the last thing, is like my nose is still a little tender, but everything else is pretty good. I was actually really worried earlier in the process because it like the swelling along my jaw was such that it felt like my bottom teeth were really pushed together. But as they've healed, that feeling has gone away because there's just less swelling.
There's less, yeah.
Yeah, it's been great. Really the last thing I'm doing now is there's still some asymmetry with the swelling. That's just gonna last for the next 6 to 18 months.
18?
Really more 12, but
Okay.
it can be up to 18 for certain things.
Is there anything you think that you might revise?
Anything I might revise. I'm gonna really be interested to see what happens with my nose.
Okay.
Just see how that pans out. Yeah.
See how my nose pans out?
Yeah.
So like,
I mean, I'm very happy with the basic shape of it. And, you know, it feels a lot better. Again, in profile, it looks really great. I just, you know, it's just something I want to keep an eye on. But everything else looks pretty dope.
Okay.
Lip fillers. I might want to get some lip fillers.
You want to get some, so lip fillers of nose?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I have lip fillers. I like them.
Yeah, now that I have the lip flip and my lip is...
You have more real estate.
Yeah, exactly. The fillers will do something.
You become a mouth real estate mogul when you get a lip flip.
Yeah.
Yes. Someone asked, why does it take a year? Do you know why?
Just because the bruising is really extensive and very internal. So like a lot of what's bruised this is my understanding. So
yeah.
I am not a doctor.
No one's gonna shoot you out of a cannon into the sun. Well, not for this video.
I was not worried about that until now.
Well, I mean, we'll charge more for that.
I should hope.
Anyway, what?
My understanding is it's a lot of extensive internal bruising of things that don't normally get bruised, and so it just takes longer to heal.
That makes sense. So here's a question for me. Me!
The protagonist of reality.
The protagonist of this video. While I know you're not sad to see Brie's face change, is there an adjustment period for you to mentally reconnect that this is my wife now? This is actually a great question. So like, I would say for the first month or so, I was like, wow, your face is so different. It's so different. And now I'm like, what did they do to your face? You get used to it so fast. I have to look at old pictures to be like, oh yeah, they did do a lot. Cause I look at you now and I'm like, you look the same.
Because that's the thing with FFS. It's not going to turn you into a different person. It's just going to de-emphasize some masculine features and emphasize some feminine features that already are on your face.
It's like the Mandela effect, but just for your face. It's like, but Brie's face always looked like this.
My face was always spelled Berenstain.
Yeah, exactly. Did either of us go through a part of this that we thought would be better or worse than it ended up being? Besides what we mentioned last time, which is that we thought this was gonna be like an easy recovery, and it was, okay. Goofy.
Honestly, like doing the face compression and the rhinoplasty J-strap.
So the thing that held your glasses off your face.
Yes.
That's what a J-strap is.
Doing that for a while and like going out in public with that was something I was kind of worried about. But then once I started doing it, it was like, I don't care. People look at me weird anyway, so.
I think it was really, really hard in the beginning, but you definitely were like up and at them a lot faster than I thought you would be.
Yeah, like I was able to do stuff and get around and.
You literally helped me film a video while you were still wearing your compression garments.
I did, a couple of
Multiple
videos.
Yeah.
Besides what I said about revisions, are you interested in pursuing any of those surgeries right now?
At the time, I'm pretty set on surgeries.
Okay.
Surgeries are very exhausting, physically, emotionally. Different people, you know, have different attitudes towards them. I don't much care for surgery. I have friends who, you know, are transitioning and they're just like, yeah, more surgeries, do them. If there's ever a month where I'm not having a surgery, it's a month wasted.
Not your bag of knives.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone's on their own journey, so I'm hoping to take a break from surgical centers for a second.
That makes sense. Yeah, I get that. Because you had 2 big surgeries years back to back, and you're not like me, who's used to just getting cut open all the time.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask this question, and I agree. People keep asking, like, how does anyone do this alone?
Oh my gosh,
No
it's
idea.
really hard. From what I've talked about with other people, you know, if they don't have a partner, they'll try to have family help them out if they don't have family available. Sometimes people will, if they have the means, hire someone for like a couple of days to a week, stay at a recovery center after the surgery. I would have been lost without you.
And during that experience, I was like, there's no way. There's no way you could do this alone.
No, it would be really hard.
No, it would be impossible. If you know trans people who are going through this, like,
Help them out.
Help them out. Be a part of their community. Bring them food.
Pick up medicine or groceries or something for them. They need to be sleeping, but if there's not someone to help out, like they kind of need to do stuff and it's hard.
Yeah, walk their dogs.
Yeah.
Play with their dogs. Honestly,
Yeah.
the big thing we needed help with the most was like, can someone please play with our dog?
Yeah.
Because she was just like, everyone's ignoring me. What the You can't really explain to a dog, like, mommy's transitioning, and so she's going through a lot right now. She's a dog, and so like she doesn't know things. I don't know if you guys know this or not. This is not on topic, but it is a funny question. Someone asked about your favorite soup.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I got a bunch of Rouse soups. They were all really pretty good. Chicken noodle really good, but the best was Italian wedding soup.
Italian wedding soup is so funny because it's like, I think like when it's prepared really well, it's delicious, but like I've never had it at any of the Italian weddings that I've gone to. So someone asked this question. Turns out I didn't know the answer to this when I answered it because I got mad at this person because I thought they were trolling me, and they weren't trolling me. This is a legit question.
Okay.
Before you had these surgeries, did you have to have a psychological evaluation?
I had to get a letter from a therapist and a doctor being like, you know, yes, Brie has gender dysphoria. She's been transitioning for X number of years, you know, under, you know, my care, and she's socially transitioned and all that. It less so for the surgeon and more so for insurance. It is kind of bullshit, and it can be a really good gatekeeper for a lot of trans women, which is why some therapists, including my therapist, who's great, will write letters for people for free. And there is a list of people who will do that, which we will link to right here. There's a public list of therapists that you can go to who will write your referral letters, and we'll link to it in the description.
People are asking, have you had laser procedures for your facial hair?
I have had laser, and I am currently undergoing electrolysis. It's been a second since I've done electrolysis because you don't want to do it before or like too close before or after surgery because the skin is still healing, but I should be good to go back to it.
Removing facial hair, I feel like that's like one of the biggest slogs.
It is, because it takes forever.
Yeah.
It takes forever and it hurts real bad, and you kind of wish that you could just take 8 hours and just have someone just go to town on you, but that's not how it works, and it can't be how it works, because like you just can't.
You can't remove hair follicles that way.
No.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously I'm not experiencing this, but from sort of mirroring your experience and how you have related to it, I feel like hair removal on your face has been the part of this process that you've hated the most.
I hated it, and like there's things you can do to mitigate the pain. Like you can use topical skin numbing creams.
Lidocaine injections.
Yeah, it's just so painful.
Yeah, it's tedious, it's expensive. If you take away nothing else from this video, puberty blockers. Actually, this is a great question. Okay, did the surgeon recommend procedures for you, or did you come with things that you wanted done?
Basically how it worked was when I had my consult with the surgeon, he didn't ask me, what procedures do you want me to do to your face? He basically asked me, what aesthetic results do you want? And from there, he was able to be like, okay, well, we'll do this, this, and this, you know? Like I was like, you know, I'd like my cheeks to be more prominent. He was like, oh yeah, cheek implants. It was really good because it didn't put the onus on me to know all that stuff. I just had to have some idea of what I wanted to look like and what I wanted to change. And he was gonna be able to figure out like how he was gonna do that.
Your eyelashes are so long.
Well, that's mascara. Those didn't change.
I know. With the surgery, like you can tell like how your eyelashes are so long.
I know. I met a trans friend of mine for drinks a week ago. She was just like, oh my gosh, you have big anime eyes now.
Are there any like styles or aesthetics that you want to try out now that you feel like your transition is complete, but like that's not the...
Transition's never complete.
Yeah.
My transition is further along than it was, and it's further along by a lot.
Complete is the word that I got, but I knew that like...
Yeah. That's number one. Transition is a lifelong process. But no, there are a lot of styles that I want to try. Like I felt for a long time like I had to go very femme a lot. Otherwise people would not clock me as female. And, you know, post-face surgery, I can be like, okay, yeah, I can wear like a cami and pants and still feel feminine.
Yeah, you've been doing a lot of like lumberjack butch stuff that's been fun lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, while still, you know, I still like dress go spinny.
Well, I mean, yeah, this is also lumberjack dress too.
Well, kinda. I'm excited to try new things and not feel like I have to just have a big billboard that says she, her over top of me at all times.
Why body surgery before face surgery? I know the answer to this.
That was the order they got scheduled in.
Yep. That's it. Bureaucracy, baby! All right, moving on. What do your scars look like, / where are they?
All right, so I have 2 main points where there are scars. I have one little one under here, which I put some concealer on, so you're not gonna be able to see it as well. And then up here, you should be able to see this guy's pretty gnarly. There's a here and all the way around. This one is kind of the big one. This is where they did the brow reshaping. This is where they lowered my hairline. There's some other small ones like under my nose and like at my ears from where they tightened the skin or had to mess with my nose. But those are the 2 big ones. Those are the ones where every day I'm applying scar ointment, serum, lotion, making sure that I always have sunscreen on before I go outside, because sun is the worst thing that you can do to healing skin.
Or any skin. Yeah.
Any skin, but especially skin that's healing.
When you first got surgery, I thought these scars here were gonna be like gnarly. These are the hardest ones to clean. And now they're like, it's like it barely even happened. So someone who's asking this from the perspective of a fellow surgery wimp, how did you balance the desires for surgery with the fact that you are a surgery wimp?
This is a really great question, because this is something that I thought was going to be a really big hurdle. Turned out it wasn't, because really what it comes down to is a decision of what matters. Is it getting the results of the surgery, which is, in the case of trans people, is much more than cosmetic. It is life-altering. It's affirming. Getting those results and having that change versus fear. It ended up not really being an issue. That was very much helped by my therapist, who is a trans woman who's gone through a lot of surgeries. You know, a lot of it was just, do I want this or not? And the answer was yes. Sometimes to get where you want to be, you have to do things that are not entirely within your comfort zone. Sometimes that means that it's not worth doing, and sometimes it means that it's worth expanding your comfort zone.
That's life, baby. That's life. I'm gonna read this one because I want to make sure I get it right.
Okay.
I am a recovery PACU nurse, and I'm just curious if y'all have any helpful critiques for for us? What would have made recovery in this transition easier for you? Did you have any issues with misgendering during your recovery?
I did not have any issues with misgendering during my recovery. It was all people who worked with that surgeon and who have done a lot of trans surgeries in the past, so they're pretty good about these things. Anything that could have made it easier, honestly, and this is just me, I didn't really have a lot of experience with pain pills. I would say that was something that I could have used a little more of, like,
You were nervous about pain
little
medication.
guidance on. Yeah, I was nervous
You'd
about
never
pain medication.
you'd never taken like that big of a narcotic for that long.
No.
So you were like a little worried.
I was a little worried.
Yeah.
That was the big one.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good question for you. How well did they do preparing you for what I would need?
So here's the thing. I think that they did a pretty good job. The office that Brie worked with, they were very, very responsive to my questions, like basically round the clock those first few days. Because like sometimes things would come up like, this is actually, okay, I'm glad we're talking about this because actually this did come up where like, there was a time where like I was changing your bandages and there was a crap ton of blood in your ear. And I looked at it and I was like, huh, that seems different. And so I took a picture of it and sent it to the doctor's office and waited to see if it was a big deal before I told you about it.
Yeah.
I showed you the picture and you're
Later, and I was just like, oh no, you did the right thing.
yeah, because it was a lot of blood. Honestly, the main thing was like having all the instructions for care because like when you have that many surgeries, there's lots of different care instructions. It's not just one procedure. Because you need to know things like, what do I need to look out for in terms of like the first 24 hours? Like, do I have to worry about bleeding? Do I have to worry about infection? Do I have to worry about what if Brie stands up and passes out? I like to be prepared. And luckily they gave me so much information that I could not possibly think of anything else to ask questions about. So that's all I can really ask for, really. What advice would you have for someone getting this procedure?
I would say be patient and be excited.
Be patient and be excited? What great advice! That's so cute.
It's a really slow process. It feels like you're not gonna get better, and it feels like it's not uncommon to have regrets that first week or so of be like, oh my God, what did I do? I'm never going to look right, or I'm never going to feel normal again. But you will. What you're going through is very normal, and it's very exciting. You just need to hold on to that part of you that was excited going into it and just keep that excitement level up, because that's gonna get you through the parts that suck.
That's really sweet. You do bring up something important though. That first week you were like, what did I do to myself?
The other thing I would say is showering is gonna make you feel so much better, and it's gonna feel like you can't because there's all sorts of tubes and attached to you. Just be careful, but do it, because you're gonna feel so much better than just existing in that state for days.
Brie, thank you so much for answering questions. Thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you for being so generous and being so insightful.
I try. I hope people got something out of it.
I mean, obviously we'll check back in with you once you're like even more healed, but we wanted to answer some questions because there were so many questions.
A lot of good ones. A lot of good
questions. A lot of questions about soup.
Soup is good food.
Soup is good food. We release videos every Friday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time, whether you like it or not.
And you better like it.
You better like it. Please subscribe. We love y'all. We'll see you later. Goodbye.